The Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Kamala Harris decided to skip the campaign tradition of the Al Smith dinner, which Trump decided to attend in the midst of a huge campaign where he's going to all these media outlets, hosting all these rallies. Kamala Harris is kind of doing the same. She decided to skip it, which I believe is like a campaign first since 2000. This has been a big thing going on. And she decided to skip it. And instead of just skipping it altogether, she decided to send in this cringe pre-recorded video that's supposed to be a skit, that's supposed to be funny, and we're gonna go through it, see some reactions, see some more background on it. It's SeanDaniel here. If you guys do enjoy some of the videos, feel free to subscribe or just even like the video. Now, some context, okay? You can watch my other video about all of the hilarious lines that Trump decided to have by going to this event. Trump's over here on the right. Oh my God, so many one-liners. I'm recording it right now, but it'll be up. You can check it out. Also for context, at this dinner, there's a great crowd of basically pro-liberal people, her people that would give her warm receptions, and she still decided not to attend. Look at this. Letitia James over here, the lady who helped prosecute Trump in New York. Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL. Bloomberg, Mayor Bloomberg from NYC. You have Chuck Schumer right here. You have a bunch of liberal media people in the back. And Trump decided to go, just like he did 4 years ago with Hillary Clinton, where he killed. But yet Kamala Harris is not even willing to go to this event that has her type of people in it. Now, why is that? Possibly because she can't really handle the spotlight and being funny. And you think she would go, because in the last few days she had these tirades where she sent out and showcased a pretty negative, irritated image.
Talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
Should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again. Never again.
While yes, there is a difference between being passionate and excited, she seemed really pissed off, especially in that Fox News interview with Bret Baier, because she was getting placed in corners where she can't give good answers. And now she decided to skip this comedic fun thing that she could have her speechwriters make funny comments and a good speech that could maybe make her look more likable and fun. But instead she decided to skip it and send in this cringy pre-recorded video that did not go so well.
But Vice President Harris did have a scheduling conflict, but was generous enough to send us this video. Let's take a look.
Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Which she's not a part of. By the way, it is a Catholic dinner. The Al Smith dinner happens in New York. That's the context.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something.
I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah. And also, one last thing I want to tell you. Don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mamala.
Thank you. Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith Dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship and come together to do some good by supporting the tremendous charitable work of the Catholic Church. The Church cares for the sick and feeds the hungry, supports families with housing and education, and in times of disaster provides not only essential supplies, but also, and so importantly, a sense of hope. The Gospel of Luke tells us that faith has the power to shine a light on those living in darkness and to guide our feet in the path of peace. In the spirit of tonight's dinner, let us recommit to reaching across divides to seek understanding and common ground. And in honor of the great Al Smith, let us fight to build a better future with faith in God, our country, and in each other. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
I don't even know what that noise you're making is. Something like, I don't know. As I watched that, I couldn't help but think of, now I know how my kids felt when I FaceTimed into a piano recital they were at.
Oh.
Anyway. That only makes sense if you travel a lot. By the way, now it's time for the main event, okay? Let's get ready to rumble.
So as you can see, that wasn't really greatly received. And what Jim Gaffigan, the comedian, says makes sense. She just showed total disrespect. She said in her little speech, oh, it's such a distinguished, amazing event, but she decided not to go. That had to be a strategic move not to go, because she can't be funny. She's terrible on stage. So she cops out with a terrible, terrible skit video that doesn't even hit the mark, and it's not even funny. It just makes her look bad. The funniest thing about this, before we get to more clips, is that a whole team of people, strategists, campaign people, they decided to do this. They thought it through, they planned it out, they have the cameras, the lighting, right? They got the actress to do this whole skit. Someone wrote out this whole skit. They practiced it. They set up this whole studio, and they thought it was a good idea. Either they're just that cocky about how great they're going to do in the election, or they're just that stupid, because this doesn't hit the mark at all, especially when you compare it to Trump's jokes at the dinner that hit, like Chris Brown on Rihanna. But the cringiness of Kamala Harris' campaign is no surprise, especially when we look at the other people like Mark Cuban, who are campaigning for her, again, that the whole team is helping to organize, plan, run whole events around this guy to garner up support, and it comes out so cringe.
You know, in my career, I've learned a lot about business, including how tariffs work. Now, let me just ask you a question. You all know anybody who doesn't know how tariffs work? All right, I'll give you a hint. That other guy. Now, he has this crazy notion that putting a tariff of 60% on every single product imported from China is a good idea. Let me just tell you, this man has so little understanding of tariffs, he thinks that China pays for them. This is the same guy who also thought that Mexico would pay for the wall, so there's no Mexico. Did Mexico pay for that wall? Hell, no, you said it wrong. Hell no. That's what I'm talking about.
So at least his Mexico wall thing was good, but the tariff thing was supposed to be funny, and it's not really funny. And the effects of having someone like Mark Cuban campaign for you along with the VP candidate are not really paying dividends, especially when you compare it to just Trump events that only have Elon Musk in them. Elon Musk hosted a town hall in Pennsylvania, which you can watch the video of right here, have it listed. On Twitter, that thing has 6.6 million views. It was from yesterday. The Mark Cuban town hall that was live streamed on Twitter with Kamala Harris, not just Mark Cuban by himself, but with Kamala Harris, has 120K views. So not only is it cringy, not only is it obvious that Mark Cuban himself is just a toy and is probably doing what he needs to do because he's a part of the elites. You know, he's an NBA owner for the Dallas Mavericks. He's totally flip-flopped. He doesn't really make sense. And he's trying to be funny and interesting. And he looks, oh my God, with his glasses. I'm going to find this really quickly. This is different. You know, this is besides the point. But I think this is so funny that Mark Cuban, he looks like a lesbian. Look at these glasses. It's like the Trump derangement syndrome glasses. He looks just like Rachel Maddow. And then when he was getting interviewed by Rachel Maddow, they look like the same people. Oh my God. Look at this. They look like the same people, man. I know that's beside the point about whether or not his speech is good or not, but obviously it's not doing that great because look at how small views it has. And his little tirades on tariffs seem even worse when you compare it to the way that Elon Musk conducts his speeches.
So if you do choose to be the head of the Department of Government Efficiency?
Yeah, it does.
Yep. What do you think about we stop giving money to other countries such as Israel, Ukraine, and we stop funding forever wars that most likely is going to the deep state anyway?
Yeah. Well, I think in general the amount of waste that happens with the federal government is really staggering. It's a staggering amount of waste of taxpayer money. And if we're, you know, for any given expenditure, we have to say, well, what does this do for the citizens of America? Like, how is this good for the people of America? It's their money. Like, for some weird reason, a lot of people in the sort of, you know, state or whatever, the politicians, they seem to forget that the money being spent is your money. And if it's not being spent in a way that is beneficial to the American people, it's a misuse of the funds.
And I know that wasn't the most hype clip of Elon Musk, but one of the things I wanted to showcase was he's just being real. He's just being honest. He's not having all these theatrics. And yet look at how much more engagement and relatability it has to viewers, hence why it has so much more viewership compared to a whole rally with Mark Cuban and Kamala Harris, where it's just this hype train, it's cringy jokes, and it doesn't really have substance, and it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't relate to most voters. It's also great to see the continual proof of the lack of substance of her campaign and lack of wisdom of it through this decision to not even go to this dinner and avoid it for various reasons and do this cringe video. If you guys want to see how Trump did at this dinner, feel free to click right up here. I have it listed on the screen, and watch all the jokes that he he went after Kamala, he went after Joe Biden, he went after Chuck Schumer, and he did it with a crowd of liberal people in New York like he did 4 years ago with against Hillary Clinton. It's Sean Daniel here. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.